You're listening to the Peter Silverman Show on News Talk 1010 CFRB. If you're getting shafted, we need to talk. Call 416-872-1010. Star Talk. It's a free call on Bell Mobility. Or toll-free 1-800-561-CFRB.
Welcome back to the Silverman Show. We're talking about condominiums with Maria Dimakas, a condominium lawyer, and we have Isabel from Thornhill, and you're worried about outdoor carpeting. Why are you worried about it, Isabel?
Am I forced to remove my carpeting, or is carpeting allowed on the balcony?
Well, that answer depends on what your declaration and your bylaws say for your condominium corporation. Those documents will let you know whether you can keep it or you can't.
Well, it was never an issue on any of the documents when we came in here, but now, after 32 years, we're saying we have to take up our carpeting. Mine has been attended to, and there doesn't seem to be any problem, but I'm being told to take it up. And I was wondering, is it a bylaw that we have to do that?
It may very well be, depending on what's in your documents for your condominium corporation, or perhaps what maintenance or repair plan your condominium corporation has. It's quite possible.
But after 32 years?
But exactly. Mm-hmm. But this has just come up in the last year or two, and it has never been in the bylaws. But is it a bylaw with all condominiums?
No, it's not the case that every condominium bylaw will have a restriction on that. It's condominium specific. It
goes according to the condominium's bylaws.
That's correct.
Their own.
And it may not necessarily address carpeting specifically, but it may just deal with decorating and making changes to your balconies generally.
Yes, well, it's to do with water damage or something like that. It is not glued down, and I have not taken it up, but I was just wanting to verify this.
Very good.
Fine, thank you.
Hang on to that carpet.
I intend to.
Play golf on it.
Thank you.
Okay, one of the things that seems to be popping up here, we both agree there has to be changes in the Condominium Act.
Absolutely.
Is it skewed too strongly towards the builder developer, or is it just a shambles?
I think that the last round of thought that went into the Condominium Act was quite good. There were some significant changes made from the old version, but nevertheless, problems from a practical perspective that have come up since the new legislation took effect don't fall squarely within the Act or aren't dealt with properly under the Act. And the Canadian Condominium Institute, in fact, is actually, has been for the last few years proposing changes to the Condominium Act, which hopefully will get heard soon, because there's some practical issues that do need to be dealt with.
You bet. And we have Dawn from Simcoe. How are you, Dawn?
Good morning.
You have a question.
Yes. My young stepson owns a condo.
Right.
Had a little bit of a sink issue, hired a contractor to come in and fix it, who had worked in the condo development numerous times, so knew the building fairly well. And long story short, he must have had a brain cramp that day. Did not turn the water off, injured himself some, flooded the only unit below, along with the my stepson's unit, and now the Condo Corp is sending him a letter saying, hey, buddy, you owe us the deductible for the insurance. Would that be the case, or would it be a third party, or just what would be the issue there? Because, I mean, he did go out and hire somebody who had worked in those units prior to, and it was the contractor's error, obviously. He was actually at work and got the call that, get over here quick.
Well, it certainly sounds like a mess situation, but the condominium corporation, yes, can hold your stepson responsible for the damages, and then your stepson in turn would have recourse against the contractor that he hired.
And how about insurance here?
Well, insurance, absolutely, and you can get insurance involved if it's an insurable issue. Yes, it's water damage, so it certainly would be insured, but the condominium corporation does have a right to ask for the deductible for its insurance.
Okay, now just because the contractor is an elderly gentleman, long story short, I guess we would be concerned that way. But they had mentioned about either adding this on to his common element fees. Would it be wise for him? Well, number one, I would suggest that he talk to his lawyer. But number two, would it be wise for them to, if they can't get any money from the contractor, to either set up like a bit of a payment plan so that, because he is a young guy in the work field and obviously just doesn't have $5,000 to, write a check for.
Well, that's something that your stepson can communicate with the condominium corporation about. Depends on how long the account has been outstanding, but it's something to address at least.
Okay. Appreciate your time.
Thank you.
Okay, we have a few seconds here. What is the major changes you would like to see in the Condominium Act?
Some major changes I'd like to see are qualifications for directors that would not, or would at least let condos avoid having to go through the rigorous process of amending their existing bylaws. We'd like to see some changes relating to maintenance and repairs, changes relating to proxies. Proxies are always the interesting and can become a very political instrument in some very difficult unit owner and board of director meetings. Proxies should be looked at again by the government, and there should also be changes in terms of dealing with some practical realities of the mediation and arbitration process that is currently in place, and really just asking people about general practical day-to-day issues that would need to be reflected in the Condominium Act.
Okay, well, thank you for that, and thank you for being my guest. That's the end of the Silverman Show on this very delightful Saturday. Stay listening. We'll see you next Saturday at the same time, the same place.